Welcome to AFAC's number one stop to entertainment and trending news. Courageous heiress and businesswoman Anerlisa Muigai is not happy with her ex-husband Benpol, talking about their marriage again. Now, this is not the first time that Anerlisa Muigai has come out to call out her ex-husband for speaking about her marriage. In fact, the last update that I shared with you guys was when she was in Zanzibar, I believe, or Tanzania, and she had spoken about marriage being sacred and it needs to be treasured, and whatever happens should not be spoken about publicly. And Benpol has never been shy about talking his regrets of this marriage that they had. He had shared that the worst regret that he had when it comes to his relationship with Anerlisa Muigai was ignoring the red flags. They were all there, but he still went ahead and said, I do to her, and that is one of the biggest mistakes that he made. Well, I'll link those old videos somewhere on the screen so you can catch up in case you have not been following the exes. And so he did an interview with Millard Ayo TV, and he spoke about never having enjoyed marriage, doesn't have that marriage experience, having kids and just enjoying marriage itself. And what he had was basically being told to pose, take photos, which is something that he has indicated in the past interviews, that you could be fighting but photos are being posted on social media with beautiful captions, but what is happening behind the scene is a lot. And so the reality on the ground and what is being posted on social media is totally different, and we get to hear him bringing something like that in this particular interview. Well, Anerlisa Muigai is not happy at all, and she has called him out, and most importantly, keep her name out of his mouth. Let's get a look of what he said in the interview before we get to Anerlisa's statement.
Yani, ukitoa picha na Instagram na nini, sija enjoy hivyo ndoa, kusema kwamba maana unajua ndoa nini, mipango ya ndoa nini, tujenge tu watoto tuzae nini. Sijai kuiona, yani sijai ku experience ile ndoa kama ndoa nazoziona za watu wengine ama watu wa karibu nini. Yani sisi sana nasema ilikuwa nini, kaa hapo piga picha hicho pa peka nini. Show za kutosha. So yeah, kwa hiyo yeah, that's all I.
Unahisi ulitumika kubrand mtu au kubrand kitu ama ulikuwa unatengeneza? Kwa sababu unapenda uliambia di maji angekuja na nini.
And so Benpol is questioned about him being financed by Anerlisa Muigai. And we do know the rumors that were circulating at that time during their marriage and relationship is that he was being spoiled by Anerlisa Muigai. And also something that many people are putting to factor is because Anerlisa does not only own a business, but she also comes from a very wealthy family. And so Benpol doesn't really give a direct answer where he puts out, we were splitting things 50-50, or perhaps some of those trips that we were going, I was paying for some things. He doesn't put it that way, but what he does say is that not all these trips were for leisure. Some were for other reasons, medical and all that. And so he does put out that when Anerlisa will be okay to talk about their financial situation, then maybe she will share that there was some contribution that he was putting during these trips, perhaps moral support. And so he could not put it out point blank that he used to contribute to these expensive trips that we will see them going to. And so something else that he did share is that during this time that he was dating Anerlisa, that was the time that he was not doing well financially because he had to put a lot of things on hold. Him as an artist, he has to be perhaps on tour, he has to be doing a lot of things. But since he was not in Tanzania most of the time where his work is, he basically bypassed a lot of business opportunities because of this relationship. And when perhaps a show was coming up or sometimes there's some work he needs to do, that is the time that Anerlisa allegedly has plans for travel. So he does say financially this period he did not make a lot of money. Anyway, Anerlisa is not pleased with anything that he has said in that interview. As you can see, Ben, naona umenizoea and you've taken my silence for weakness. You've always had the right to tell the interviewer not to ask about me. Why are you always making me look bad? Yet undercover, you send me messages different from what you talk. And Benpol also mentions in the interview that I believe it's in July or June, he had traveled to Nairobi last year and they had texted on WhatsApp with Anerlisa Muigai. So they really don't have animosity between them, but they're also not really friends. But he did put out that there was a time that they were in communication. Anyway, so Anerlisa continues to say, kama kweli wewe ni mwanamume, I dare you to screenshot what you have been sending me since 25th December to 4th January 2023. And so as you can see from Anerlisa, they have been in communication. That is, Ben has been sending her messages, and as you can see, from December 25th to January 4th this year. Now, this interview was done in December, according to what I picked up from that conversation, because Millard had mentioned that they're doing the interview in December, so perhaps it's a couple of weeks old, and right now is when it has been uploaded. And also, Anerlisa finishes a statement by saying, I have a lot to say about / show you, but I choose to be a lady. It's simple. Stop talking about me. And so Ben does not mention Anerlisa directly, her name that is, or the interviewers. They don't mention Anerlisa, but of course they talk about his marriage experience. And Ben has always said that he is talking about his life experience. So I don't know, guys, what to think about this. Do you think that it is wrong for Ben to continue talking about his marriage that failed? Even if he does not mention Anerlisa directly, he is talking about his experience and how that was. But something else is that he has never mentioned the reason why it broke down. He does say that there are a lot of factors, but one thing that he also made clear in this interview, infidelity is not the reason why they broke up. So that he has put out clearly. Anyway, so Anerlisa is not happy that Ben continues to talk about their marriage, or what rather did not work for him, his regrets and all that. This is also not the first time that she has warned him talking about their marriage. But at this point, it seems like Ben does not care, because he's talking about his life experience, and that is his story, and he has a right to talk about it however he wants to talk about it. So it seems like Anerlisa is not happy about it, but Ben, on the other hand, thinks otherwise. So it's a very, very tricky situation. It's also not clear if they ever came to an agreement where once they dissolved their marriage, no one was ever going to talk about it at all. So it seems that that was not part of the divorce agreement. Do you think that somebody has a right to share their experience and should not be silenced about it? Or do you think when it comes to marriage, no one should ever talk about what happened? But if there's something that he tried to put across, is that he still loves Anerlisa Muigai. He had invested in this relationship emotionally like he has never before. That is something that he had put out clearly, and he does not say that they can never get back together. The answer this time around, compared to his previous interviews, is that there's always a possibility of people getting back together, so long as the things that drew them apart are corrected, and even perhaps people have changed their behaviors. So there is a possibility of two people who were once in love to get back together. And he has also put out, so long as that you genuinely loved somebody, it is not easy to just let go of your feelings right there and then. It is a process. He also did point out it depends with the state that he is in when Anerlisa decides to come back, that is, if she will ever come back. But from the look of things, so long as he continues talking, that will not be happening anytime soon. Anyway, Benpol has not responded to Anerlisa's statement, but that's what's happening. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also turn on your post notifications. You're notified once we have any new uploads. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.